Bit of a different monster here.
Definitely. I think what's exciting about this is we talk about Kira a lot and we hype him up. He's a very, I think we say, very solid player, very well-rounded player. Like he straight up is one
Solid
of the best.
yet fluid.
Yeah, one of the
That's
best
how I think of
Terrans in the region in South Korea. But we're talking about patience here, and he can beat anyone. Like we were talking
He
about
can beat anyone. He can also lose to anyone.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. It works both ways.
That's why I love him. I love players like that, if I'm being honest. So I like the life for the longest time.
Yeah, patience. He's beautiful. He's amazing, and he could 3-0. He could lose 0-3. This could go to the ace match. Like this is going to be insane.
But then he could also go up against the best player in the world and take it to the ace match.
Pure
An unadulterated chaos. And Cure, I want to say that he's the opposite. You know, he's the embodiment of order, but he's not afraid to get a little dirty.
He's not. Unfortunately, he is a little bit cleaner compared to someone like Maru, like some of the other Terran players who are willing to get down and dirty. Like, that's what I want to see, mate. I want to see these two just get into it. Just, oh God, that's beautiful.
It really would be. That would be a painting and a half. If anybody wanted to immortalize that, you know what? That's an idea for a stream one day.
Oh, no.
And some ideas here. It's gonna be like, what's it called? The Archangel versus Demon, but it's patient secure. But yeah, it's gonna be enough of the speculation. The time has come where we are actually gonna see how the series plays out. Starting off on Oxide, once again, the dirtiest map in the map pool. Well, based anecdotally, it feels pretty dirty. In the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, the Red Protest player coming down from South Korea, a native of Jeju Island. Has a fun fact, he is representing Good Game Gaming, GGG. He is Patience.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Terran player. He is blue, representing a Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
And of course, with Cure, we cannot forget his most prestigious title. He's the mayor of Six City.
He is, and interesting from Patience, he actually quickly checked for a proxy just in case at his third base. You know, he knows that Cure, he's willing to do something crazy like that. But speaking of crazy, Cure actually opts to skip his Reaper.
Yeah, going for a straight SCV scout and then immediately a bit of a safety marine behind that. We'll have to wait and see what he uses gas for. There are a lot of options for the Terran player. A lot of them involving factories, a lot of them involving starports.
Yeah.
A lot of them involving just getting more axes. But we'll see.
The world is his oyster, right? You can go for whatever you want. You can go, oh my god, he actually goes for a second Rax.
And we have it. Will he go for the third one? Complete that trinity.
I would love to see it. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if maybe he would do something crazy and like get a fast tech lab and go into like Marauders or something like that, or just go for just a very heavy stim timing. Regardless, he's trying to keep this hidden from Patience.
I will kind of want to see a 2-on-1, but I think it's too late for that. There we have it. The third Rax is coming down. How committed is he going to be to this?
God, that is the real question. And how long is it going to take, if at all, for Patience to scout this? Right now, he's going across the map with an Adept, which is great. He has a Sentry on the way, which means he will be able to get a hallucination out, but it'll still take a little bit of time. Oh.
Definitely will. The wall is, in fact, a wall, and the Adept is unable to really get in. He sees that Cure isn't going to ultra aggressive. If he is going to be pushing out later on, it's going to be with some sort of timing. Oh, I got worried for a sec.
Ooh, yeah, that was really close. Oh boy. But Patience, he has seen nothing but Marines, and that is a little bit of a tell that maybe something is amiss. But again, he's still in the dark, and he hasn't gone for a Haluk yet.
Well, I'll tell you what's amiss. There's a Reaper, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's usually the first indication for the Protoss player. It's not, panic mode. It's not code red yet. Because there are some more macro-focused builds that Terran can do in TvP that involves skipping out the Reaper, but it's substandard for a reason.
Yeah, there are some Terran players who are just greedy and they just avoid the Reaper and just,
exactly.
Yeah, just be a little bit more economic focused. Meanwhile, the Oracle does see the second Rax and the Tech Lab researching.
Alright, so he should be able to infer from here on out, you know? You're not going with a single Tech Lab Rax. There's going to be something really hard coming Patience's way, and what is his choice of defense?
A Dark Shrine.
Yeah. Well, he was getting that earlier on, but it is super important to get that. I guess it is super important to have that, though.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, DTs can help a lot defensively, right? Forcing scans, and if your opponent doesn't have scans, then, you know, they will be able to clean everything up. But again, this army is looking so strong. Stim and Combat Shields is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. Oh, he doesn't. He muled. And the Warframe is getting across the map.
Too hard. It is going across the map. The Darkseid just finishing up. He's going to warp in right at the edge of the base.
And I mean, Akira just needs a little bit more time to scan, and right now he does not have enough energy.
Not quite. He needs about 10 more seconds to be able to have a scan, but then he could scan, but what is he going to use to take out the army and the nice defensive DT popping up over here? This is still a whole bunch of army moving on past the wall, taking out the overcharged battery. That Immortal actually helping out a ton against the Marauders, and the DTs, you know, going to town on the Marines.
Yeah, exactly, but they're taking a long time to catch up to the Marines. Patience, he actually messed up his sentry control, and he wasn't able to force field the ramp, and now 15 probes have gone down, and this will get cleaned up by the DTs, but, oh god.
Yeah, Immortal helping out as well, and it does force Patience back, or I guess, more importantly, forces Cure back. Oh man, Cure's so on top of, Cure's just so on top of his defense. Evacuating those SCVs immediately into the natural that had a turret up. Not a whole lot of Patience could have done here compared to the amount of damage Cure has done.
Yeah, Patience was able to kill a decent amount of workers, but only 10 SCVs, and we can see he is still behind in terms of those probes just because of how many losses he sustained. He's going across the map with the rest of his DTs. He can morph them into Archons. Maybe he can make something happen here against the Mass Marine, but wow, that spread.
It's such a nice spread. 0 splash damage possible.
Wow.
Unless he somehow gets right in the middle of these Marines.
Oh god, the War Prism already has low health as well. Oh god.
I'm impressed he didn't lose the War Prism.
Oh yeah, and you know what? He finds an angle. He does land the Archons. He gets two Marines in the end, maybe 3, but yeah, so far not worth it at all.
Yeah, well, he gets a couple of volleys. He does get a couple of volleys on top of the Bio Army, getting them pretty low. If nothing else, it'll drain the medevac energy at the very least.
Yeah, and he finds a couple more SCV kills here in the natural. Unfortunately, Cure had everything in the main base.
Yeah, almost getting a couple more Marines over there. But that's totally fine right now for Patience. Number 1 priority is just make sure that Cure doesn't catch him with his pants down. He's working on his expansion. Colossus is on the way. Not researching, not high-sec auto-tracking, the other one. The Protoss version of that. Thermal Lance.
Yeah.
That's the upgrade name.
Thermal Lance was late in comparison, right? Like, the Colossus is almost done. But thankfully, it is still on the way. We'll see if there's some kind of timing where he gets punished for that.
Almost losing the Archon. But he is able to keep it alive. Cure not hindered too much. He lost a little bit of bio here and there, but he has not lost any tanks yet. He's not lost any starport units. And that's really what you want to keep alive when you're going for a +1 push. Like Cure is.
I was about to say that, like, Cure, the problem is that he's been stuck at home for a while now, it feels. There we go. He does send a drop across the map. He does get spotted, though. Actually going for 2 drops. Oh, my.
Yeah, multi-prong as best he can here.
God, that he is. And I was really concerned because I don't... Oh, my God, Orpheus, no!
Get taken out with 2 Archons!
The Cybergore gets taken out as well, so no more Stalkers or Adepts to be morphed in.
And it feels bad, man. Blink is just about to finish up over here. He can still warp in DTs, which, if nothing else, will force a couple of scans out of Cure, but not what you want as a defense against drops like this.
Exactly, not at all. This is ideal for Cure, and because he knows that he took out that Cybercore, he can be even more aggressive and more daring with these drops. Finally, the Cybercore is going to finish up in a couple of seconds, but now it's on Patience. Now Patience is kind of stuck at home after losing that core and also that War Prism.
What a turnaround. And Arcure is just continuing to find damage over here. That's kind of the double-edged sword of blocking that Reaper ramp. Little did he know that Kyo wasn't going for Reaper.
Exactly. Oh god, and there we go. Finally, Cure does have 2 tanks. He is looking to move out on the map, looking to establish his his third base, but Patience being annoying here with the DT.
Yeah, just preventing any mining from going on over there for now. Forces a scan out though, which is, I mean, it's something right now for Patience, but this is a terrifying push coming his way.
Yeah, Patience just needs a little bit more time for the great equalizers to come out for the disruptors, and with those disruptors, maybe he can land some juicy connections and hold on and survive.
But that's still a little ways off. The Marauders just about getting in front of the natural base. That disruptor pops out and it's gonna be pretty isolated. That's actually going the long way. Oh no.
Yeah, the SimCity was working against Patience there a little bit. Oh, the first shot goes off on 3 Marauders. Not the most ideal shot. It does barely escape.
So not terrible so far for Patience, but he is starting to lose a whole lot of probes to that drop in the back line.
Oh my god. Patience, please. Do something about it.
He's focused entirely on his front door. And Cure still keeps that drop alive. You can still continue to get a little bit more done. DT's definitely helped out a little bit. I think Cure is running out of scans, so that's definitely something, but there's no way for him to prevent the Marauders to get right on top of these, on top of this Robo facility. The Immortal does not pop out. And I do not see Patience holding from here. He has lost his foothold.
Yeah, that he has. Like, he still has 2 disruptors, and that's really what's keeping him in this game. But as we say that, we have all these reinforcements coming across the map. Like, oh god, Cure is getting an even larger army. Patience, he's forced to go in.
An amazing tank split as well. He's picking off the tanks with his Stalkers. The Disruptor's actually finding a little bit of room here. But he sacrificed way too much army for that. GG is called. And Cure will take game number 1.
GG, well played. Was really back and forth there, but oh god, that drop in the beginning of the game was insane, killing what, 14-15 probes, like just like that. Like, oh god.
And that was pretty much where the snowball turned to an avalanche, wasn't it?
Pretty much. And it was kind of a domino effect, but, you know, a couple of things here and there just didn't go Patience's way, losing the War Prism with 2 Archons in it as well. Like, GG.
GG, indeed. I mean, it's really hard, right, to think of what Patience could have done instead. Maybe at the start of the game, if he had a better counterattack, he would be able to equalize. But yeah, from there, if you tried to be more greedy, then I think Cure would have just pounced right on top of the opportunity. And if he was more defensive than Cure, he was already working on getting more expansions up.
That he was. Oh boy. Now we are going to be diving into game number 2 here of this best of 5 series. That
we shall. Who is going to be the player to make it to the first qualification match? Is it gonna be a red Protoss player spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right hand corner of Romanticide? LE. He is coming down from the land of South Korea. He is gonna be representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. He is Patience.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG, it is Cure.
Yeah, now I think about it. Well, okay. Hear me out here. Initially, I was gonna say, you know, since this is based on residency, you know, we don't really have to say that they're from South Korea, because that's kind of implied, right? But exclamation mark Funara Cham. He's in Korea. He is currently a Korean resident. could have played. That's all I'm saying.
I was very tempted to add him, like message him on Discord or something like, Cham, yo, where you at? This is your opportunity. To be fair, there are a lot of big names here, and I know right now Cham is focusing on practice, right? Like on the Korean ladder, like that's where his mindset is. He's still kind of, you know, training in that hyperbolic time chamber, but
it definitely does make sense.
Yeah.
Going into a competitive, I mean, it's different, right? From depending on what you want to get out of your practice. If you're in a competitive environment like this, then I guess it helps with mindset or mentality training a little bit, learning how to adapt mid-series, or maybe even learning how to prepare out a series if you know who your opponent's going to be in advance. But it's nowhere near as, if you're looking to practice your mechanics, I don't think it's anywhere near as useful as custom games against people, or even just ladder, right? Grinding out games.
Exactly.
Because you're not waiting around as much.
I'm sure we will eventually see Cham compete in these Korean events. It'd be amazing to see. It all kind of depends on how long he stays in Korea. That's something that I'm actually not aware of. I don't know how long his stay there in the Korean team house is going to be.
Yeah, it's still to be determined. However, I love to see Cham in ESL Asia.
Oh yeah.
We don't have Jim anymore, then we at least see Cham.
I mean, in general, we don't have a lot of Zergs there. You know, we talk about it all the time. It's been dominated by the Protosses in the region. I'd love to see Cham represent Zerg there alongside players like DRG and Solar.
I have to wonder if his style would change too much. Just based on, you know, the opponents he's facing and what have you.
Yeah, I would love to see him go up against like Parting and stuff like that. Like Cham has a very unique style of ZVP. Like he is very aggressive.
Going up against one of the most aggressive Protoss players, yeah, that is something to look forward to.
Definitely.
But of course, before that, we have a bit of a PVT in front of us right now, and Patience gonna be going for that Stargate. Not immediately going into Phoenixes, does want to get a little bit of harassment done with this Oracle, and there is an opportunity for him to.
Yeah, I mean, it was already scouted by the Hellions. There are a couple of Marines here. None of the Marines go down in the end. This Oracle wasn't really able to find too much damage. Does get one SCV, 2.
Yeah, definitely something. The target firing, not the best coming out from Patience over here. But he got what he wanted out of this Oracle. He got the scouting information. He knows that Cure is going for a 1-1-1 this time instead of a 3-Rax, and he knows that how Cure is going to be building towards an eventual push with tanks. Super important for him to get these Phoenixes out.
Definitely. Like, Phoenixes do so well at shutting down these kind of pushes. Not just when it comes to CCing those tanks, but also the Raven can be quite vulnerable. Like, that's like the target for the Protoss Phoenixes.
You're telling me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you get enough Phoenixes out, you can really start to be fearless with hunting down the Raven, right? You can go in, completely bypass the Marines. You know, the Raven tries to get out. But I tell you what, Phoenixes don't care. It is totally fine for Patience to lose a Phoenix or 2 if it means he's able to take out one of the most important utility units of the Terran player.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, there's so much value in that Raven when it comes to disabling Colossus in big engagements, or even using that anti-armor missile, or even those auto towers to harass.
Or even just detection, right?
Yeah.
What if Patience wants to go for a Dark Shrine later on, you know?
I wasn't thinking of that, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't really say that to me. Or you don't often say that to me, yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to earlier today. Fun fact, Run Amok versus Starduck. Very similar situation. Starduck opened up Stargate, and he saw that Raven. He just dove in. He lost the Phoenix, but he killed the Raven. He was happy with that, mate.
Dude. Yeah, shout out to Starduck real quick, by the way. Qualifying for the season of ANZ Champs. Wasn't there to watch how his series played out, but dude, absolute hype.
I definitely recommend this series versus Run Amok. It was very back and forth.
Is it gonna make me cry as a Terran player?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe. Feels bad, man. Run Amok didn't have the best of luck in that series. But Yeah, Starduck, of course, as you can imagine, he proxied quite a bit. He was very aggressive. You know, he went back to his roots. I loved it.
But it made me laugh and cry at the same time.
Definitely. And now here we go. Cure is finally pushing out with his main army. Has 2 tanks. Has his Raven. Everything was tagged. So Patience, he's looking for his opportunity to maybe catch something a little bit unawares.
And honestly, I'm a little surprised here with Patience's tech choice. He saw that Cure was going to go for the 3-1-1 Terran push, but his defense, our Archons, doesn't have shield batteries just yet. Charge did finish up. He's going to have a lot of a buffer for his main army.
The lack of shield batteries is a little bit surprising to me, right? You see this massive army push out and Patience doesn't even flinch, mate. He doesn't even care. He just stands strong and sits in the scan. And you know what? He won. He pushes the Cure away.
It's all about that psychological warfare here, Light. Patience, he didn't need shield batteries. He just had to tag the army and Cure. He was afraid.
Well, yeah, I don't blame him, mate. He's up against a Protoss player.
He saw 2 Archons, yeah. He saw 2 Archons? Oh! No. He cannot go up against that.
And now Patience has map control. Not just that, I love, just look at the minimap. He just has pylons literally all over the place just to scout, just to make sure nothing sneaks into his bases.
Dude, who needs observers?
Right? Oh my
That's all
god.
I'm gonna say. You have the Oracle for Revelations, you can tag your opponent's army, and just grab spotter pylons, why not? You might want them against mine, so that's what I'll say.
Yeah, just a bit. Oh god, here comes the drop. Does tag the drop. Doesn't go for the medevac, not quite yet.
Yeah, he knows that Stim is already completed. He knows that Cure has +1. So he doesn't want to risk losing his entire form of crowd control here to take out a single medevac. Instead, going to be focusing a lot more on the main push. He knows that Cure is pushing out, takes out nothing. Ooh. But he does bruise a couple of these starport units. If there's an opportunity to pounce on top of the Raven later on, you know Patience has to go for it.
Oh yeah, it's already at half health, mate. Like...
One anti-armor missile can completely change how this push plays out. Storm did finish up for Patience. It has a couple of High Templar, so if he can land them, then he's going to be able to buy himself enough time to be set up comfortably economically.
Yeah, what's a little bit scary? What's a little bit scary about this as well is I just realized like there's no ghosts, there's no EMPs with this, right? Up against Storm and Archon, like yo, Patience's army is so beefy. Sure, he's trying to find a way in, but he just keeps getting tagged.
He really does. And it takes time to set up the Terran army. It takes time to siege up your tanks, to get your mines in position. If your Protoss opponent knows where you're doing it, they also suddenly have the time to defend, just like so. That Oracle still has not gone down. That has been the absolute MVP of the game so far, or at least of the defenses here for Patience.
Yeah, that it has. Meanwhile, the Raven does move on forward, but actually throws down an order turret instead of an anti-armor.
Oh, might not have been the best decision over here. Potentially a bit of a misclick, but it's still fine for Cure. That Raven is still alive, and it still has enough energy for at least one either anti-armor or disable, depending on how he wants to go for it.
Yeah, and thankfully Cure, he is taking up. We do see Ghost production on the way. We do see enhanced shockwaves on the way as well. And yo, the army's out of position of Patience.
And he is taking absolute advantage of it. The Raven used up its energy, and Cure does not care anymore. He's going right on top of this. Takes out so many probes. Doesn't quite get the Nexus yet, so Patience has the opportunity to recover. But already that was amazing damage for Cure.
Yeah, and once again, another
every single shield battery.
Yeah, the Archosis pylon does go down. All the shield batteries are depowered. 30 probes go down. Barely any here at the 4th base, and this is what I was about to say. I was about to say that I'm concerned for Cure because this entire time, Patience, he's been on 4-base economy, but Cure was finally able to deal some economic damage.
Now the shoes on the other footlight. I'm worried for Patience. Those mines have not been spotted in 4th base.
No.
There's not too many probes here, thankfully, but they get taken out all the same.
They do. I know detection here. I mean, finally the cannon does finish up, and that will help with cleaning up these Widow mines.
Widow mines, yeah. But how much time is this buying Cure?
And you know what? Now Cure has the Ghost. He has the EMPs.
That indeed he does. He's about to have +2 weapons as well. Patience unable to get his own upgrade. Maybe he can take out the Ghost.
Oh god, the EMPs do land. They don't land on the Archons, they're only on one of the Archons. Meanwhile, the rest of the army is meeting up here, and I just realized, Patience, I don't believe he has any High Templar for Storm.
Not anymore, yeah. I think he morphed them all into Archons over here. And that's can only benefit the Terra players. Sure, Archons are really beefy, and sure, that's if you had to have one unit EMP, you'd rather have the Archons EMP than the Templar, but you want to at least have Templar out.
Yeah, definitely, and honestly, I'm so impressed with what Patience just did. He was defending at his third, and he split up his army in half. And like, like right now, this is half the army of Patience, and he's still holding on here. Like, it's a little bit scary, it's a little bit on the knife's edge, but Patience, he's going to collapse on the army of Cure.
This is some beautiful position coming out for Patience. He knows exactly how to zone the bio, and now he forces the retreat. Man, if he had a couple more Stalkers that have Blink finished up, then he could just completely shut down that push. But instead, he's going for the counterattack.
God, speaking of counterattacks, so is Cure, as Cure is pushing forward, looking to hit the 4th base of Patience. Likewise, so is Patience as he takes down the Planetary.
What an interesting base trade that we're seeing right now. Patience, of course, does have recall available to him, but I worry he's taking too much damage regardless, even if he does recall.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he will force a lift up here of the 3rd base and take this out as well, but at the same time, Cure has another job here, hitting the 3rd base of Patience, and this Nexus is already low. Like, both players are going to lose their Nexuses. Oh my god.
Huh. Oh yeah, their units. Oh! We'll take out some bio here. Patience will, but at the cost of a whole bunch of his probes. What a base trade that we're seeing right now, but Cure should have the advantage unless Patience is able to kill this entire army and recall.
Exactly, that's what it's about. Is Cure going to try, is Patience going to try and push up into the main base, or will he recall after he kills the natural?
Either way, it's going to be a tough spot for him.
There it is.
Okay, not recalling with his entire army, but should be enough to take out this army. Patience is on less than 1 base economy, though.
And
so is Cure for the time being, to be fair, but that base is about to get saturated.
Yeah, exactly. The Planetary is huge. It can be muled upon. Meanwhile, Patience, he's looking to fight the main army of Cure, and Cure has to be so careful, he gets surrounded.
But the EMPs are absolutely fantastic. The Archon's taken out. Can he blink on top of the Medivacs? He tries to, but he doesn't take them out.
Oh god, he took out 2, but they were empty. Empty Medivacs. Aye. Meanwhile, Cure is just consolidating his forces. He has that Planetary. He has his main. I still really, I don't know how to call this yet. I feel like it's going to be about the EMPs.
Yeah, it definitely will. The EMPs. Actually, I don't think he has any purification overs anymore, does he? Yeah, so it's very much going to be into the EMPs. Oh, and Cure's coming in with a surround. Absolutely what you want to do against Colossus. These Colossus are super exposed at the back.
Oh,
but
God.
It might be just enough DPS.
We'll
but
see.
Cure has just enough army.
GG gets called. The entire army of Patience was blanketed with EMPs, all completely gone with shields, and Cure, he just collapses on it and takes the game.
Aye. So far, the closest game of the tournament. At least the closest game we were able to cast here. And I'm hoping we don't get another 3-0 here. I'm hoping Patience will at least we're going to see the ace match again. If that game is indicative of anything, it's indicative of Patience really be able to have decent defensive plays and positions.
Definitely. Like, I don't think that Patience necessarily made any wrong moves there. Like, it would have been really difficult for him to continue with the base trade and push up into the main base, like, because we saw there was an army already waiting in the main. But yeah, he was kind of caught with his pants down, all in as well. Well done by Cure.
Yeah, very well done by Cure. For a second I heard Hero, but I was like, wait, no.
Not yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. Just, what, 2 months, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure how
Maybe
many
even
months.
a month?
Yeah. Can't wait.
It's gonna be good. And speaking of good, here we are on Lightshade LE, potentially the final map of this series, but hopefully it's not gonna be. In the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Good Game Gaming. GGG! He is currently down 0-2. Can he turn around, bring it to the ace match? Hopefully, he is. Patience.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade ALE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Cure.
We got a little bit of an update here as Cure goes for the NG block. There we go. A little bit of an update here. We will have a Zerg player in the next round, which will be the qualifying round, either Solar or Ragnarok.
Ooh, that we will. I mean, Solar versus Ragnarok sounds amazing. It sounds like an insane ZVZ. Obviously, we have to say that Solar is the better, well-rounded player, but in a ZVZ, like Ragnarok can totally take a series.
Exactly. Solar's a more well-rounded player. He's the more his street player. He's absolutely the favorite in most other matchups, but Ragnarok, he is a big brain.
Oh, yeah.
He knows just about everything, the entire ins and outs of the Zerg race, and that's why he's such a scary opponent in CVZ. And even in the other matchups as well, but especially in ZVZ.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily compare Ragnarok to Patience, but like along those lines, you know, he's a very unique player, and he definitely stands out from the rest. Maybe not on the top of his race, but still very good, very amazing to see.
I will say that there's at least a logic, right, and a pattern for the moves that Ragnarok does.
Yeah. There is no logic behind Patience.
There is not. The only thing that you can really do with Patience is just embrace him, the chaos.
Oh yeah. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And already Patience going across the map with his first Zealot. He was forced to make it. And because he did go for that first Zealot and it was scouted, I believe, Cure, he just goes for a CC on the high ground.
Yeah, it's not want to risk too much of a delay here in getting the natural base. It's definitely fine building it on high ground and then, you know, taking a little bit of time to clear out the Zealot here before transferring it over. What is not fine is Zealot camping the natural base. Taking out the SUVs as you send them down.
Yeah, it can be really annoying. I'm sure you've been there as well as a Terran player. It's like, oh god.
A couple of times.
Not too bad. Yeah. I mean, thankfully though, Cure, he does bypass that entirely. You know, his natural is a little bit late, but well worth it. Especially because, oh my, he is going for a bit of a 1-1-1 here.
Yeah. Opting for the Hellions this time, but no, not going to be going for a drop here. Sid could have tried to just brute force his way through. If the force field comes into play, and if he force fields well enough, Patience that is, then these Hellions are not going to get any scouting information, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Patience, he sees everything from Cure.
That he does with that hallucination. Meanwhile, the Hellions try to sneak in. There are only 2 sentries here. They are able to force field the wall and keep those Hellions at bay.
One probe will go down. But, you know, thankfully Patience has not been scouted just yet. Cure still doesn't know that he's going for the more gateway focus for the time being build with Immortals out. He could actually go for an Immortal drop if he was so inclined.
Ooh, Patience. So the standard thing to do here is to go into a very fast Colossus, which makes sense. We've seen a couple players be really greedy and go fast Colossus, but do you think he'd be even crazier and go for fast Disruptors?
You know what? I think he would be... I think Patience is the type of player to go into a Disruptor drop.
It could happen. It could happen. Again, with that Robotics Bay finishing up, he can get Warp Prism speed. We'll see if it is going to be a Disruptor or a Colossus. We've seen players do both. There are players like Nina who loves going Colossus drop in PvT. Regardless of what drop it is, though, like here, he has his Hellions really nicely fanned out. He is looking for anything moving across the map. Oh my.
but doesn't quite see the Warp Prism making its move. So actually a single Immortal and 2 Stalkers, okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely not something you see every day. It's typically double Immortals, or you wait for the Colossus out.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, as we can see, Patience is going for those Colossus, and that is, you know, a more safer route. Very solid core unit for your army. But yeah, he's going across with an Immortal, and okay.
And it's actually getting a little bit of damage done here. Yo, if you can take out the NG Bay, that's going to delay the push for so much here for Cure, or even make the push weaker. But he is satisfied with just getting a little bit of scouting information in that main base. Is he going to pick up the Colossus? Not quite yet.
Yeah.
That's it, though. Colossus, I feel like this is absolutely the right move to, when you're up against a player like Cure, right? Somebody who wants to go for his +1 timings. If he's unable to get the disables onto Colossus, if he is unfortunate enough to fight within shield battery range, then the Colossus are just going to shred through the Terran Bio.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, going for a Colossus in this position, it makes a lot of sense. We'll see if Patience, it looks like, yeah, he's going to be moving out with this, which I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this. I feel like Patience, his strength here would be defensively.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot more questionable. But I guess he just wants to get a little bit of map. He just wants to be a little bit active on the map here. Doesn't necessarily want to push into Cure. He knows that Cure is going to be pushing into him. So he just wants to meet him in the middle of the map, which, again, is very questionable when there's shield batteries available to you.
I mean, ideally, you want to force the siege, right? You want to force this to take longer than it really should. And Patience, he was waiting here in the center, but Cure just goes all the way around.
Patience?
Uh-oh, Patience. Okay, he's backing up. He senses that something is amiss. Oh my god, does he, though? Oh no, the Colossus! No!
The Colossus super exposed! Did not even need to waste a disable on that one. And now Patience is fighting out of shield battery range. A couple of charges coming in to try to get a bit of a buffer. They don't even have charge yet. They are slow lots. The disabled Colossus is starting to move in. Technically, does move away.
Oh my god.
Nothing stopping Cure from dropping here.
Yeah, Cure, he just goes straight into the main base with his double drop. Thankfully, there is a Warp Prism, there is a Colossus here, and Zealous help clean this up so economic damage is not dealt.
Yeah, only a single gateway for the time being. With the high ground, Patience can definitely do a lot with his Colossus. Just try to shave away at the army count of Cure, but Cure's established his foothold, and he's starting to reinforce it. Patience needs to do a bit more than that.
Yeah, Patience, he does have a lot of Zealous charge, literally just finished, and that will definitely help when it comes to breaking this position, but oh my god, this is not an ideal choke point.
Not at all, but it is a really good surround position. The charges get on top of the bio, and they make it right into the juicy tank center. Patience is able to deflect this.
Yeah, it was a really rocky start, especially with losing a Colossus and just completely missing the army entirely. But Patience, mate, he dominates that fight, and now he's ahead in supply, and now he's pushing across the map.
Indeed, he is. He has the upgrades that he needs. Not quite in terms of weapons and whatnot, but he has his charge. He has his thermal lance. The Warp Prism is going to meet up with this, and Cure was kind of all in there. He needed that push to at least kill a base, right? But he could not do that. He is far behind in the economy.
Yeah.
A little bit behind in the army as well.
What's surprising is that push didn't deal any economic damage either. Like, he committed to a drop into the main and it did absolutely nothing. And now Patience, he's pushing on forward, trying to break the natural of Cure.
SCV's trying to repair as best they can. Surprisingly, the Colossus actually targeting down the Marauder, so not really getting on top of these SCVs. The Vikings doing a good job of taking them out. And the Warp Prism is in a lot of trouble, but it is able to warp in a couple more units. The Archons and the Chargelets. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. GG is called, and Patience will not go out without a fight.
No, he will not. We were talking about it earlier. We wouldn't have been surprised if Patience goes all the way to the ace match, and that's what I'm hoping for. Whether Cure makes it or whether Patience makes it to the next round, regardless, I want this to go to the ace match because that was an intense game.
It absolutely was. Game number 2 and game number 3 have definitely been very, very close. And this is, I think a lot of people are expecting Cure to make it to the next round, and I will say he's definitely the favorite based on their performance this year, but it just feels like in the past couple of weeks, Patience has really been refining his play. He's really been minimizing his mistakes. I just don't want him to go down without showing what he's really capable of.
Exactly, and to be fair, I do think he has been able to do that a little bit so far, right? Especially in some of the games that he's lost. It hasn't been completely one-sided. It has been quite close. It has been back and forth. And here we go. We are going to be getting into our next game. Cure is still on match point. He still needs one more. Patience needs to win this to go to the ace match.
Absolutely. He needs to win this and then win one more behind that. To face Solar, so we have a bit of an update there.
Oh,
that was Solar versus Ragnarok did apparently go to the ace match, but a pretty quick series it feels.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of like maybe 12-11s or 13-12s.
Yeah.
Like
it is TvC, yeah. But that is once again to be determined as we see who makes it out of this match. The pre-qualifier, if you want to call that the prequel? Question mark?
Oh, no one wants to be the prequel, mate.
Yeah. In the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. He is coming down from the land of South Korea, a native of Jeju Island, fun fact. The complete embodiment of chaos. He is representing good game gaming. GGG. He is Patience.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Terran player. He is blue, representing his team, Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. On match point, it is Cure. Uno más, papi.
Uno momento, por favor.
That's not... God damn it, Yaku. As Patience, he is scouting diligently here for a proxy.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would not be surprised if Cure, on match point, just goes for a quick game, like, just goes for a quick proxy like that. He's a man with many tools under his belt. One of them being proxy 2 racks. One of them being proxy 3 racks. One of them being proxy tank. Another one being proxy starport.
Cure can do anything, mate. As you said, he is like water. Can be many different states at a time. Very fluid.
Yeah, he can be solid. He can be fluid. He can be gaseous.
He can even be American state, if you will. The Protoss.
He could be Nova Mexico. Could be Montana. Like Chicken Man.
What do you say?
Yeah, just saying, Cure.
Yeah,
he could be Chicken Man.
He could be Chicken Man. You're not wrong. Or Chicken Man could be Cure.
Dude. I thought of it that way.
Good. As Cure is being a little bit annoying here, we do see the bunker did finish up, and with this, it's going to be so much more annoying for Patience to finally get underway mining here at the natural.
Yeah, so I actually have a question for Protoss players in the chat. Has this gone from being an annoying tactic to being more of a tactic that makes you roll your eyes when you see a Terran player do it? And I feel like most Protoss players now, I mean, I would be sick of it if I was a Protoss player.
I imagine it's kind of like, as a Zerg player, I roll my eyes whenever there's a pylon block at my natural and I have to take the unnatural natural. I feel like it's the same thing here.
Yeah, it's something like when a Protoss player attacks my SCV with their probe or tries to delay the natural base by patrolling around. Yeah, I like to do it. Come on.
Especially because, like, again, like, the response is,
what do you think
is pretty straightforward, so you just go through the motions, you know? It's like, okay, fine,
yeah.
I have to make a shield battery, I have to make a stalker, and then I can finally clean this up, like...
That's like the best way of describing that, yeah. Just going through the motions, like, yeah, all right, I guess this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to do this, but you know, it's no big deal. MBD.
Yeah. And once again, just like the last game, Patience going for a fast robotic spade.
Well, he's figured out what worked for him in that previous game, and now he might as well stick to it. On Jagannatha, I think this is also a map that it's gonna play out pretty well for Patience. He definitely has quite a lot of time he can buy in order to get enough Colossus out, in order to hopefully get shield batteries out. That's something that Patience always lacks.
Yeah.
Very conservative of them.
Very unfortunate. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where if you don't need them, why make them, right? And just make sure you never need them.
Because you'll probably need them, right? Don't make them and hope you don't have to. If you don't need them, no. Make them and hope you don't need them. That's what it is.
No, mate, you got it the wrong way around. At least in Patience's mind. God.
It's like, why would you hope that you don't need to? Like, why would you buy this Why would you buy this EpiPen or this medicine and hope you don't need to use it?
Exactly.
Like, come on, that's a waste of money,
right? And Patience, mate, he's all about saving money, all right, as he's going across the map. Again, very odd. This is just like last game, except this time he didn't even pick up the Immortal.
Yeah, only going across the map with a single Adept. Is he going to try to warp anything in?
I imagine so. The problem is that there are Marines already in the main base. It's going to be so risky trying to pull something like that off.
Yeah, even if you siege up your Warp Prism, there's still quite a lot of... That's still, like, enough of a window for the Marines to jump on top of it.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Cure dives in with his Reaper. He confirms that the third base has been thrown down for Patience. Meanwhile, Patience is morphing in a couple of Adepts. He does have 2 in the War Prism. But again, there are plenty of Marines here in the main base. Even a missile turret, just in case there are DTs.
I like it. Cure, he definitely knows who he's up against.
Yeah. I don't blame him, right? 2 missile turrets. And you know what that is? That's a waste.
Observer! It is a waste, and the Observer will go down. That's also a bit of a waste.
Mate, that missile turret stole that kill.
It really did. Should've gone to one of the Marines.
Oh, God.
And so he is stealing kills. The Adepts will be landed and will be picked up once again. So Patience identifying that there's not a lot of damage he can get, he can really do over here, but that is completely fine. Patience, he's forced a couple of missile turrets to be built from Cure.
Yeah.
He's delaying the push for quite a long time. And now Thermal Lance is finished up from him, unless I'm seeing things. Yeah, Thermal Lance is finished up.
It's done. I am still afraid for Patience just because, like, sure, he's keeping Cure at home, but Cure, he's got 3 tanks. He's gonna have 4 tanks soon. He's got a massive bio army. What does he have? He's got +1. He's got stim, combat shields, +1 armor on the way. Like, when he finally does break out of this contain, oh my God, it's gonna be terrifying. And Patience, once again, is going into the middle of the map, and he is missing the drop.
Patience! You're so exposed over there!
The
problem, I just see it!
He sees it! He sees it!
And there's always the opportunity for Patience to recall over here with his main army, but he's actually...
Okay, he's turning around.
He doesn't want to waste a recall just yet. Again, Patience, why are you exposing your Colossus like that?
Yeah, but you know what? He's going to be able to find this drop with his army, focus down the medevacs.
Even force fielding some of the bio, making it even harder for Cure to really get much done. Lost a couple of Stalkers, it seems, but kept the Colossus alive, and that is the most important thing. Patience, please throw down a couple of shield batteries. Please don't fight in the middle of the map like this.
Oh, God. I mean, he did have an Observer here. He did spot the army. Again, 5 tanks. Ay. The Observer was scanned. It was taken care of. And, oh my, a third did just start for Cure.
He really wants to go across the map right now.
Yeah.
Landing that third base ain't quite going to be enough.
Like, again, this third, it did feel like Cure wanted to go for a big 2-base push just because of how late this third is. But because 2 drops are caught out in the middle of the map and were taken out for free, like, Cure isn't feeling too hot about that push.
But Patience apparently is, and I'm not sure about this.
Oh, he's on siege, though.
He is on siege, and if he can get these tanks from behind... It's definitely going to be real good, but I don't think Patience knows the positioning right now of Cure.
Oh my God, he has no idea. Here we go, Zealots do get into the main base. Cure is undeterred, he's committed to this attack, and now so is Patience. Patience, man, you gotta go now, you have such a head start to the base trade.
Huh. And it's gotta favor Patience as well. He always has that recall available to him if he needs it. If he completely messes up the economy here, then Cure is going to be forced all in. But I still think Cure has a better army if Patience doesn't fight within shield battery range. There's only one shield battery.
Yeah, the shield battery is going to be taken out. Also, 5 tanks. Bear that in mind. Like, there's 6 tanks across the map. So even if Patience recalls, can he even hold? I mean, again, he dominates this main base of Cure, and he's going to be able to take everything out. I don't think he's going to be able to win with elimination, though. I don't think he can destroy all the buildings, especially because like this can just hide in the dead space even.
Yeah, it definitely can, and Patience does not have quite enough. He did evacuate his probes, though, from that natural base. He's going to try to get some buildings up, stealing this natural base.
Yeah, he's not recalling. He's not recalling at all.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to recall to this Nexus.
Oh, God. I mean, that would work.
No, actually, he can go. Yeah, he can go back home and try to fight this army, and then recall to that Nexus.
I mean, he's trying to rally whatever he can out. He's trying to elevate her out. Oh no, the Vikings, the Colossus! Oh God! Oh God!
And I'm not sure if this is necessarily better. One more. He does drop the Colossus, thankfully, but again, there's still no anti-air over here. The Colossus will get taken out. This is going down to the wire. Cure has literally 0 SCVs. He can't make any more SCVs because he's so heavily supply capped.
Yeah, but he
still has the better army.
He does have an orbital though. He can drop mules if he needs them. God, this is still so insane. There's another orbital here to the bottom right.
I'm so confused right now. So, okay, Patience. Please throw down shield batteries at your Nexus.
I mean, the thing is,
if you don't fight in the middle of the map.
The thing is that Cure wins in a straight up fight, I feel. Especially if he sieges up. If he gets caught unsieged, maybe Patience can take it. Patience, don't push it! Oh no, my God! Patience!
Already a couple of zealots over here, and I'd say that's just zealots, but Patience cannot make any more army. He cannot replace zealots.
Exactly. There's no way at all. Meanwhile, the tanks are a little bit exposed, but again, they get another couple of free shots off. Oh God.
I feel like Patience should just really turtle up now.
This is terrifying.
He is the one who has mining. He has the capability of building units.
This is the only building. This is straight up the only building.
It's the only building. It's the only building. Patience! Don't try to take out buildings!
Oh my God. Okay, here comes the army, and I don't think Patience can do this.
He may catch up on siege. He may catch up on siege. No, GG is called. And Cure is gonna go into that qualifying match against Solar. Man, GG. Well played for Cure. But I'm just saying, like, shield batteries, come on.
I mean, honestly, if Patience had probes out on the map, like, he had 800 minerals, I think, around that.
Did.
Like, he could have thrown down some more buildings, so then the game wouldn't have ended there, and then maybe Patience would have a little bit more time to actually catch the army a little bit out of position and win the game.
But even then, I think Patience was the player who had mining at the end there. He was the player who had workers. I think he didn't realize that Cure had 0 SCVs at the end of that. So he could not build any more buildings, even if he was able to mine more. If Cure Patience, really fortified that position in the southern natural base,
it's possible.
Again, threw down shield batteries, he could have taken a fight against Cure, but yeah, really focus a lot more again on just trying to win through elimination. Didn't quite work out for him, but it was definitely a series. Patience put up a really good fight, and now we're going into a TBC for our qualifiers.
It was amazing to see. Honestly, like, again, even if Patience had fortified and stayed defensively there, it still would have been hard just because of the amount of the sheer amount of tanks. Like this shit, like 6 tanks, mate. Like that's the amount of firepower there is insane. Again, Patience was really missing something.
Really needs there,
exactly. Imagine, remember that last Colossus that died in the middle of the map? That came out. Imagine if that Colossus was like a disruptor instead, you know, like because then it would have survived because it would have escaped with the war prism, and then there was nothing on the ground to take it down. So and then maybe that would have changed things. Like it's hard to say, like especially with chaotic games like that.
Yeah, it definitely is. Regardless, it was definitely something.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Patience learns from here.
Regardless, well, like, what a series. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
It really was. So it's what we come to expect from Patience. And now